What's up, everyone? The secret accomplice of Big Brother 27 has been revealed, plus Showergate kicks off Big Brother 27 in style. We've got so much to talk about, so welcome to your Big Brother update. Right before we get started, if you are new around here, make sure that you hit the subscribe button. I've got a long night ahead of me because I am doing live feed updates every single day of the summer, delivering you all the news that you need to know of everything that's going on inside the house. So if you want a freshly delivered update to your door every single day, hit the subscribe button. Also, hit the like button. That one really helps me out as a smaller content creator. Hitting the like button really pushes my videos into the YouTube algorithm. So please click the like button. But without further ado, let's get to the Big Brother breakdown. Folks, we are back with a bang. Seriously, wow, what an episode. It felt like that was the premiere, if that makes sense. To me, it felt like the premiere was its own thing. It was like a preview almost. Whereas tonight was the night for the live feeds to commence. As I'm filming this, the live feeds haven't started yet. But you best believe, folks, I'm going to be drinking coffee as soon as I'm done filming this video to get to work on the updates. But we have got to talk about that episode first. Wow, it felt to me like an old school season of BB. And if y'all have been watching me for years, you'll know that Tom is a fan of old school BB. I am so freaking happy with this cast. There's not a single dud. Okay, maybe there's a couple duds. But as of yet, these duds are yet to be explored. They may become dudless, if that makes sense. But right now, it's a dudless cast. Everyone seems to be there to play. Everyone's got a personality. Everyone is ready for a summer of gaming, and I like that a lot. Rachel Riley, of course, made her magnificent return, and she is safe for the week. Listen, I'm a Rachel fan. I'm not complaining, but from an updater perspective, this is another situation of Big Brother 19 when Paul entered the house and production just flung so many twists at the wall to distract from the fact that they were essentially giving Paul a free pass through the jury. Now, Rachel, of course, isn't getting that. She's only getting 1 week of protection so far. I'm sure that'll change as they introduce more twists as the weeks go on, but that was there so Rachel wouldn't be the first boot. I 100% they don't want to lose Rachel the first week. Worst case scenario now is that they lose Rachel week 2. It is very possible that it could happen, but judging by already the discourse in the house, it seems like Rachel is falling into the background, which is actually perfect for her game. These people are going at it and forgetting that somebody who is considered the queen of Big Brother is still there and almost undetected. That one is baffling my mind. I've already expressed, if these fools do not go for Rachel, then Rachel deserves to win the money and they deserve to lose. Because guess what? You've got a Big Brother winner and you missed. You're going to let somebody else get that money this time, or are you going to let the person who's already won hundreds of thousands of dollars walk away with it again? Think with your heads, folks, and don't think with your heart. Because honestly, this with Big Brother, yeah, you might be like, wow, this is Rachel, she's lovely. But Rachel isn't just Rachel. Rachel is Rachel Riley. Rachel freaking Riley. I don't need to say more. If you're a Big Brother fan, you know the connotations. If you're new to the game, go back and watch Rachel's season. She is considered an icon of the game. People either love her, people either hate her, but whether you love her or hate her, you'll know that when you hear the name, you know who it is. Simple as that. And I know for a fact people might not be able to agree on liking Rachel in the comments, but they can agree on the fact that you know Rachel Riley and you don't forget her. Now, a massive congratulations to Amy, who passed the secret accomplice task. To those of you who guessed Amy correctly in my last video, well done you. Give yourself a little pat on the back because that was good. There were so many names going around, you know, ahead of this episode. People on TikTok, people on Twitter, people on Facebook, everywhere theorizing about it. A lot of people said Amy, a lot of people said Keanu, a lot of people said Ava, a lot of people said Kelly, a lot of people said Vince. There was I think every name came out as a suspect. But the ones who got Amy, well done to you. That was very impressive. Well done. Amy, we got to talk about her. We're going to see, obviously, another side of her when the feeds come on, as we will with the other 16 house guests. But judging by how Amy carried herself in episode 2, it was interesting. It felt like she got the best edit in the first half of the episode of, oh, she's this sneaky person who got away with it, and don't underestimate the lady in her 40s. It was a cool edit. She looked like the cool as a cucumber person, and then all of a sudden it transitioned into when she was talking to Vince in the HOH room, and then she started crying her eyes out about somebody else being nominated on week 1. Now, while, of course, empathy is a beautiful thing, I love that, but on a Big Brother level, girl, you're sinking your game. I really want Amy to succeed. She was one of my preseason favourites, and I'm holding out hope on her because I think she's lovely. But yeah, she's got some work to do because she's landed herself on the block. We're going to talk about the nominations a little bit later, but she landed herself on the block, and I think she kind of earned that nomination. In that first week, you've got to look for absolutely anything, because everyone's, minding their P's and Q's in the first week, and they don't want to step on your toes, and, they want to do it the house once. In recent years, that's been the whole season, but it feels like we're finally starting to get back on track with 26 and now 27. It feels like people are, I don't know, loosening up a bit again. It feels like people are loosening up and are there for reality TV, and it seems like something like crying in front of the HOH and also taking a really long shower so the person whose room it is can't go to bed or not thinking about the fact that person who can't go to bed is a reason enough to nominate somebody. And Showergate was born out of it. Wow, that's now... Showergate, I already know, is still going to be talked about in 3 seasons' time. Who remembers week 1 of BB27 and how exciting it was? Showergate, wow, okay, so Ashley, of course, was the so-called perpetrator in Showergate. She, according to the people on the feeds, not the feeds, in the episode, because we don't know the feeds yet. I'm sure people talk about it, we'll see more, but according to the episode and the edit there, it sounds like she took a 1 to 2 hour shower in somebody else's HOH room, and a lot of people felt like that was a situation in which she wasn't really thinking of Vince, who's the HOH, and might want to have gone to bed. And it was a weird one because Ashley had to dig herself out of the hole because a lot of the house guests had already, thought, okay, this is the perfect opportunity to make sure I'm not the target in week 1. And it's reason enough. If I was a head of household and, I'd said, hey, do you want to use the shower? Because I would 100% do that if I was... by the way, for the record, before people start going, Tom, play BB, I have no intention of playing BB in my mind right now. But if I was HOH, 100% I would open my shower up. 100% I would open my shower up because it's the right thing to do. It's the social game, all that kind of stuff. Truth be told, I don't want any 16 people's nasty-ass feet or armpits in my shower. That's my shower. I won that as a HOH. But as a social game, I would grin and bear it and say, come on in, everybody, take a seat. I love you all. But there is a situation here in which Ashley said she would take 10 minutes, and then it sounds like she took well over an hour, up to 2. I can see why that would rub people up the wrong way. And I can see why Vince decided to nominate her. Because, again, in that first week, it's like, what are you going to do? But you need the tiniest reasons. If somebody has, if 15 people, let's say, or 14 people have done nothing to offend you, but then there's somebody who basically had a meltdown in your HOH room, and somebody who, took a long ass shower and that rubbed people up the wrong way, then what are you to do but nominate them? I understand it. Now, here's the thing, though. Vince didn't actually seem too bothered by the fact that Ashley had taken a shower. That's something I picked up on. He did not seem bothered by that, but he ran with the reasoning of other people being annoyed by it. Again, what are you going to do? Point is, Ashley should have read the room a bit more, but also it feels like old school's back because nominating somebody over something as simple as taking a long shower, It feels like we're back in old school, folks. I have a brand new Patreon, folks, and you can be a part of it. For the first time in 6 years on TV Talks with Tom, I've opened a Patreon. All of my tiers give access to a Discord community that we are building. There is numbers building up in there now, and it's a really, really lovely community that we've got going on of positive Big Brother fans. I know how exhausting it is to be in those Twitter spaces where it feels just like negativity constantly. I wanted to create a break from that. So if you want to be part of a positive Big Brother community and get to know other fans and we can all chat in there, join my Patreon. Every single tier gives access to the Discord, and there are other benefits in each tier, including follows from me on Twitter. We've got a brand new Patreon-only series coming up where I go back to the beginning of the game and watch the game from the start. I can't wait to do that. Those old school seasons are legendary. So I hope to see you there. Plus, you can also get your name in the credits of my video for choosing tier 2 and up. So check out my Patreon in the description below. Now, like I discussed there, we said that Ashley and Amy are sat on the block together, but of course there is a third nominee. Don't know why I syllabalized that. Nominee. There is another person on the block, and that person is Zay. Zay did not have a good start. I found the way Zay talked sometimes in those meetings, it kind of felt like intense is the word to say it. Like, it didn't feel like there was a chill button with Zay. It was a bit like, yeah, bro, yeah, dude, you know, and it didn't feel authentic is the vibe I got. I didn't feel the authenticity from Zay. I also see Zay as somebody who is in their own shell, and it might take a while for them to come out of it. But if you don't adapt in this game sometimes quickly enough, then the axe comes swinging for you and it's too late. And that's exactly why those three have landed themselves on the block. You know, it's Meltdown versus Shower, which sounds crazy, versus somebody who is not very good socially. So it really could be anyone as the week goes on. Ashley's best play going forwards now is to make amends. Even if, as ridiculous as it is, she just needs to probably call a house meeting and be like, I'm sorry about this. I should have been thinking about the fact that that Vince wanted to get to sleep. And even if she doesn't like feel like, because it's one of those things, isn't it, where sometimes you've got to suck it up to get the house on your side. And if Ashley does that, I'm gonna like applaud her, because I'm like, that's the right move. She's making the right moves to put herself in the right place in the game. And if she does that, she might get herself into some better social standing. And then Zay's horrible ass social game, or Amy could spiral even more, and then the focus will be shifted onto them, and then Ashley can move on to the next week. I am a big fan of rivalries in Big Brother, so if Ashley wins the veto or the BB Blockbuster, which is the reinvented AI arena from last year, if she wins one of those two, she is going to be gunning for Vince next week. And again, nothing screams old school like two people going at each other and missing every single week. And I would love to see the flames stoked of a modern BB rivalry. Would love that. Now, in terms of alliances formed already, and to some game intuition that I've seen from some people, we've got to cover all bases here. Triple Threat was the first one established that we saw, which I loved. Like, I tweeted, I said, perfect moment to plug my Twitter, at TV Talks with Tom. You can follow me on there, folks. Well done, Tom. You're very welcome, Tom. Thank you. You can follow me there. But the Triple Threat alliance is consisted of Mickey, Morgan, and Jimmy. I love those three. All three of those are there to play. Feisty, confident. It feels like good game prowess already, and also the creme de la creme when you're watching Big Brother. When a player is great but also entertaining, it lifts them to a whole other level. People remember strategists as the years have gone by, but people remember the strategists who were personalities, looking at you, Dr. Will, even more. Same with Danielle Reyes, Vanessa, those people. They're the people who go down in history. And Jimmy is gaming hard. Seems like Morgan is gaming hard. And Mickey, I feel like Mickey's a recruit, but I feel like there's a lot of recruits this season. But Mickey, again, like, gun to my head, she actually might be my favourite. I think I love Mickey. I said in the preseason, I think she's my favourite going in. And I just love her personality. I tweeted, I said, she's the kind of person I'd love to drink some wine with, you know? She seems like the perfect wine drinking buddy. I think she's wonderful. and I can't wait to see what she does. But those three coming together, thank you, Big Brother gods. Tom appreciates you. I appreciate the Big Brother gods for pulling those three together. They are going to create earthquakes together. Tsunamis, you name it, whatever you want to call it. Showergate, there we go. Okay, there's a loop background. It's going to be good. I like those three coming together. Now, another two that we've got in an alliance is the Mom Squad. That's Rachel with Amy. Rachel is experienced in the game. And if Amy continues to spiral the way she is, I have no doubt in my mind that Rachel will cut ties just like that. Don't go down on the sinking ship. That's the mistake Amy made on the Ashley ship. It sucks that your friend Ashley is being nominated. It does. But do you want to go down on that sinking ship? Because she decided to do that in that moment. And now she is going to have to find a life vest. And luckily Rachel's there. And she is the queen who coined that term. Floaters grab a life vest. It really feels like old school Big Brother, and I'm loving it. There's just this greatest feeling ever. Listen, I've been doing this for 6 years now. Can't believe that, 6 years. I know there's been people doing it way longer, but myself, I can't believe I've been doing it for 6. And I've started to, I notice patterns. I notice patterns every single year. And you start to almost get not a deja vu, but you notice certain things happen and you go, it's all just a little bit of history repeating itself, isn't it? And seeing petty arguments on night one and rivalries already being born before the first nominations have even set in. Nothing screams old school like that. Nothing screams old school like that. And I am so freaking happy that Big Brother 27 is off to a fantastic, near amazing start. Okay, I'm going to do a little segment. Best gameplay of the night versus worst gameplay of the night. I am so surprised by Lauren. Lauren has game intuition already. She was saying what I discussed the other night, and what a lot of us fans have been discussing, is the fact that there are 8 ladies and 8 gents this season. And there is bound to be something there that can be, you can look at it and go, hang on a game level, you can analyze that and go, I think the accomplice is a woman, because if the accomplice is found out and they are sent out the house, that would still leave the gender balance as 8-8. Lauren is the gift that keeps on giving. She's the surprise that keeps on surprising. I think a lot of us looked at Lauren, and because I've seen people doing drafts and not a lot of people have picked Lauren. Everyone's underestimated her, and then all of a sudden she comes through and she's got all this intuition. While she didn't vote that way, she probably had to vote with the house to not stand out. Not a fan of voting with the house, but in that moment she showed that she had intuition and that she had good insight into the game. Lo and behold, it was a woman who was the accomplice, and Lauren clocked that. She clocked that from a mile away. So Lauren is somebody I'm keeping my eye on. Well done, Lauren. Great episode there. Other hand, I want to talk about Riley's reaction to the vote. He seemed to get a little bit riled up there. No pun intended. And you've got to realise that the vote wasn't personal. The house was tasked with finding out who the secret accomplice was, and they were basically told, if you don't get this person out, then they will be in for the rest of the game. So they were doing what they thought was best, which was removing the threat. Just like Riley did when he walked into the diary room and casted his vote, okay? And he seemed a little bit butthurt by the fact that the house guest had voted him. The best thing he could have done at that point is just went, maybe threw in a casual joke, lighten the mood so people don't feel as bad for voting him. And then all of a sudden people would go, Riley's a good sport, isn't he? Nice guy. He really took that well, even though it wasn't him. Like, he's a funny guy. I could see myself working with him. That was an opportunity there for him to change his initial foundation in the game, and he didn't do it. And I know there are people who still say, Riley's charming, he's nice. And I'm sure there are people who think that. But guess what happens next week when, Amy might be gone and she's not having a meltdown, or Showergate isn't a thing anymore. You need to think of the next thing. You need to think of the next thing that is the tiniest little thing under the microscope so you can put them up on the block. And Riley having that little reaction there to a very impersonal vote. It was not a personal vote at all. People will go, he took that a bit personally, didn't he? Okay, well, then the next conversation is, I haven't really heard many names. The only thing that people are bringing up is, the fact that Riley acted a little bit weird the other day when we did that vote. It wasn't personal. It seemed like he took it a personal way. Then boom, Riley's on the block. We've seen this game 27 times now. More if you count the celebrity versions and cancel out Big Brother 1. Sorry, the Big Brother fan in me there jumped out on my don't get a statistic wrong, Tom. I'm apologising. I'll put Tom Jr. back in his pocket. Stay in there for a while. Just save it. Just save it till the live feed updates. Okay, Tom? All right. Yeah. Bad move from Riley. Great move from Lauren. Can't wait to see how those two manage their threat level in the first few weeks. We also need to talk about Zach's good prize. I don't know what we'd call it at this point, but of course we know that he won $10,000. But then he was told that he can now use this $10,000 as a bargaining chip to get him off the block. Up until the jury, basically. Wow. That's an interesting one, because it's really going to tell, is he going to be willing to die on the hill for 10,000? Because I see Zach going on the block within those first few weeks, without a doubt. That's just based on these past few years. I feel like people have been more proactive in trying to take out the dude bros. So I would say it's going to be difficult for Zach not to hit the block in those first few weeks. So that $10,000, it's, I nearly said pounds there, sorry, excuse my Britishness, it's in his hand right now. And is he going to cling to it, or is he actually going to use it when the time comes? I'm fascinated if somebody would get so cocky that they would be on the block, have the 10,000 bargaining chip, and then go, no, I'm going to chance it. By a vote of 9-0, Zach, you have been evicted from the Big Brother house. Shock face. That twist is 100% made for good TV, because it could be one of those Marcellus mistakes, If you don't know what I'm referencing, there's a iconic season, Big Brother 3, and Marcellus decided not to use the power of veto on himself, and then he was sent out the door. And Julie Chen, she had her cue cards, and she smacked Marcellus over the head with them when he got out of the house. Can't beat the old school, folks. But wow, I think these kind of twists are invented to create moments like that, and I can't wait to see how Zach decides to navigate that. And without a doubt, I believe that he will hit the block within those first few weeks. So I almost feel like it's a certainty that he's going to have to navigate this twist and not just be able to coast to jury. That is all of your Big Brother updates for today, folks. I thoroughly hope you all enjoyed it. I have got a long night ahead of me where I'm going to have to drink lots and lots and lots and lots and a bit more of coffee. I am so ready. I'm so excited for a brand new season of live feed updates as I am talking right now. We are moments away from the feeds coming back, and I can't wait for it. But I did want to come on here to break down that episode, because it wasn't just an episode, it was an amazing episode. It really established some key things that we need to know going into the feeds, and also kind of gave us more of a feel of what these house guests are going to be like. It was really good. Really, really good, and I couldn't be happier, as you can probably see by the smile on my face. I love this episode, and as far as getting a season off to a good start goes, that's pretty A+. I haven't really got many complaints at all, so Big Brother 27, you're in my good books right now, but let's hope you stay there, okay? Be good, all right? Thank you so much for watching, folks. I thoroughly hope you all enjoyed watching. Like I said, subscribe for daily live feed updates delivered right to your feed. And yeah, let's get the game started. I am going to go drink a ton of coffee right now because I've got a long night ahead of me. But folks, I hope you are staying safe, staying positive, and staying healthy out there. But in the meantime, don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, do all of that wonderful stuff. But until your next Big Brother update, I've been your host, Tom Vasey. Good night.